Before we get to it, I gotta let you know that I revamped my gaming channel. So if you liked the video from a couple days ago where I played Fortnite, link is in the description. Go over there to subscribe. We're gonna be doing 2K, College Hoops, 2K8. We're doing all of that. But let's get into this video. Y'all see I had the Rappin' Man, the Loyola Chicago shirt. Now this is a volleyball shirt and it's kind of tight because it's a couple years old. But I had to rap Sweet 16, another game winner. And who called it? Yeah, it was me. Welcome to today's video. Now if y'all didn't know, I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 1996. And the 90s were a pretty tough time, a really good time for basketball. Some people that were around that time say that the 90s were the most competitive years of the NBA. Now, though I was born in 96, so I only experienced like 3 years and 2 months of the 90s. I'm still a 90s baby. In today's quiz, it says that only a true 90s baby will be able to ace it. So let's see if this 90s baby can answer these questions right. Only a true 90s kid can get 100% on this NBA quiz. Now again, I was born in 96, so I wasn't watching basketball in the 90s. Because at 3 years old, my attention span was not at basketball. It was on Legos and Dragon Tales and stuff like that. But let's just see if we can get 100% anyway. Start the quiz. It's gonna be a lot of questions about the 90s, I already know. From 1990 to 1999, 4 teams won an NBA title. Detroit, Chicago, Houston, and who? San Antonio, I think they won it in 1999. That was the Admiral and Tim Duncan's first championship. So let's go San Antonio. Booyah. What 90s NBA player was the #1 pick in 1984? The 84 draft class had Jordan, Sam Bowie, and Hakeem Olajuwon. So there's 2 for 2. Easy to start off. I'm doing pretty good to start off. What 90s NBA player was the #2 pick in 84? Jordan was the #3 pick if you didn't know, and Sam Bowie was the #2 pick. Ended up having a lot of injuries in his career and obviously didn't live up to the hype, but he was really good in college. Injuries. It just kind of sucks. From 95 to 99, 2 players won MVP awards. Jordan and who? I want to say it was Karl Malone. Because them Utah Jazz, Karl Malone, John Stockton teams were really good. They just couldn't win a championship because of the guy out east that they always matched up against. And Karl Malone was putting up crazy numbers. So let's say Karl Malone. But yeah, 4 for 4. See, you didn't have to watch it to be factual. You know? You just had to read your books and do your studies. What NBA superstar put Fila on the map in the 1990s? Grant Hill. Grant Hill was the only player that I know of that signed a Fila. I'm sure they had a long list, just like Nike has a long list and or Jordan. But Grant Hill was the guy that I always knew as the Fila guy. And he will always be. He will always be the Fila guy. In the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of those shoes were super bulky and just super trash. The newer shoes, the Kyries, the Hardens, the Paul Georges of the world, those new signature shoes are really, really nice and really performance shoes. You know, those shoes we just saw, those Grant Hills, I feel like they were bolts and heavy. What event interrupted the Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Rockets and the Knicks? O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson's Bronco chase. If y'all didn't know, they basically stopped the NBA Finals on national TV to show O.J. Simpson. Did I say Mayo? See, I'm so much of an NBA head, I think I said Mayo. O.J. Simpson driving down the highway in the Bronco getting chased by the police. They stopped the NBA Finals. If that happened in today's day, and like Game 5 of Warriors versus Cavs last year, there would be a riot. There would be a riot. Like, you gonna make us miss Game 5? But anyway, O.J. Simpson. Who are the Bulls playing against the Shrug game? I feel like Clyde Drexler was in that game. From the highlights, obviously. Was it the Trailblazers? Yes. Still 100%. 7 questions in, still 100%. Who are the Bulls' opponent in the flu game? Utah Jazz. That was an easy one. That's one of the most iconic games in NBA history. Shout out to the guy. Oh, you can't see him. He's kind of cut out. But shout out to the guy right there. Jordan. How many regular season games did they play in the 1989-1999 season? I'm guessing it was about 50 because that was a lockout year. And if you don't know, basically the season starts whenever we can get an agreement. And the agreement came basically 32 games late. So 50. Yes. The 1990s saw several labor disputes in all of major sports. Baseball, NHL, and the NBA. That's crazy. That's 3 of the 4 major sports, major American sports, going through a lockout. That's crazy. What was David Robinson's nickname? The Admiral. We all know that. What member of the 1992 pre-Charles Barkley Phoenix Suns made an all-star team? Oh, I know Jeff Hornacek is definitely one of them. Jeff Hornacek was an all-star one year. Now the question was it Kevin Johnson or Dan the Man? It was probably Dan the Man. Let's go Dan the Man to Jeff Hornacek. 11 for 11. And we still got 19 questions left. I thought I was doing good, but we still got more than half the quiz to go. Who did the voice of Penny Hardaway's buddy, Little Penny? It was either Chris Rock or Chris Tucker, two of the best comedians of all time. Chris Rock or Chris Tucker? Dog, I'm going to skip this one for now. We'll come back. Let's answer the next couple. Who was the lone college player of the 1992 Dream Team? Easily, Christian Laettner. Which NBA player was grandmama? Larry Johnson. Okay, so we got to go back to this one. Chris Rock or Chris Tucker? I want to keep this 100%. The 90s, baby. Let's go Chris Tucker. 3, 2. It was Chris Rock. My perfect score is done. It's over with. But okay, let's try to keep that as the only loss we get. The mailman, obviously Karl Malone. Gary Payton was the glove. What Nick Killer would famously jaw with Spike Lee during the playoffs? That's obviously Reggie Miller, one of the clutchest to ever do it. Before 2003, how many games were in the first round of the playoffs? 5. And a lot of people are petitioning that we get back to that, because in reality now in the 2000s, first round NBA series, they just aren't that good. A lot of times you may get a sweep, maybe a game goes 6, but the best of 5 is probably the best, you know, the best format. What was Ray Allen's name in He Got Game? Obviously Jesus Shuttleworth. Shout out to Ray Allen. He's got a book dropping soon that I will 100% be buying and reading and telling y'all stories about the book. So you ain't got to buy it yourself if you don't want to. What number was Tracy McGrady chosen in 1997? Was it 9th? Let's go 9th. Yes, okay, so I knew he wasn't the first or second, and then 17 seemed way too low. So there we go, right there with 9th. What 8 seed upset the number 1 seed Supersonics in the 1994 playoffs? That was the Denver Nuggets. I don't know much about that series. I want to go back and see what the real story was. Was somebody injured? Like if you remember Derrick Rose, when he went down with his first ACL injury, y'all know it's hard for me to talk about. We were the 1 seed in the East, but we lost to the 8 seed because our star player went down. Did that happen to the Supersonics? I don't know. I would have to read up on that. What shot blocker big man was famous for the finger wave? Come on, y'all know what this is. The Dikembe Mutombo. In 1995, what brand new franchise drafted Big Country Brian Reeves? Well, yeah. So 6 more questions. Let's try to finish with just 1 wrong. In the 95-96 season, the Bulls set a record for winning percentage, 72-10. Obviously has been broken by the Golden State Warriors a couple years ago, but that was the record for 21 years before the Warriors beat it. Who was the name? What was the name of the NBA legend Hakeem Olajuwon patent go-to move? The Dream Shake, baby, the Dream Shake. In 1997, Latrell Sprewell on the Warriors was suspended for strangling what coach? Yeah, strangled the coach, if y'all don't know the story. I met Latrell Sprewell. He was a pretty cool dude. I didn't feel threatened like he was going to strangle me. So that's a good thing. But yeah, he definitely strangled his coach, which you could probably guess that didn't go too well. What was Allen Iverson's nickname? The answer? I almost picked the question because he had a pair of shoes named the question, I'm pretty sure. But obviously, the answer is his nickname. In Game 1 of the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals between the New York and Indianapolis. Oh, I paused because you don't really hear about the Indiana Pacers called the Indianapolis, but I guess that's technically right. How many points did Reggie Miller score in 9 seconds? 8. And then, yeah, at Spike Lee with that picture. Who missed 2 late game free throws in Game 1 in the finals in 95? That was Nick Anderson, Nick the Brick. His career was never the same after that. What was Charles Barkley nicknamed? The round mound of rebound? Oh, that's it. See my results? Oh, well, 97%. Usually they have a little passage like, you did it. You're a true 90s, whatever. We didn't get a perfect score, but I guess we can say this 90s baby did a pretty good job. All right, thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. Again, the gaming channel is up and launched today's video was a Fort video, but tomorrow we got some NBA. We got some, just know the gaming channel is about to be up and running and popping. So if you like games, go over there and subscribe. Thank y'all.
They gon' ride to it, slide to it, get fried to it, vibe to it, get live to it, boy, I do it. They gon' ride to it, slide to it, get fried to it, vibe to it, get live to it, boy, I do it.